Oh no, guys, this seems like a terrible idea. It had warning signs, and I was like, it can't be that bad. And then as I was going into it, I'm like, it keeps telling me the dimensions. So is this large? We've got a whole lot of news crew here. Do you think we can do it? I'm concerned. I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen this before. This is the first one. It was between this one, which was a house, and another one, which was like also explosive. Oh no, it had a double trailer, and I don't love double trailers. Okay. Special transport cargo. There are 2 escort vehicles which will lead you. Please be careful and follow their lead and suggestions of the route. Oh no. Don't like to stop on a red signal and have the right of way. Oh, in most situations during these deliveries, checkpoints are made more often to save your current progress. Oh no. Avoid any possible conflicts with the escort vehicles. Do not drive out of the estimated route, nor to filling station, rest stops, etc. The way I like it. Obey speed limits, which will be ensured. Oh, watch out for overtaking traffic. Change lane maneuvers. He'll go. Okay, they'll go over and block traffic for me. Oh, I've never done one of these before. I'm concerned. I need to do this to get out of here. Wish us luck. We're probably gonna need it. Like, I like the idea of the stuff like, we don't need to, we don't talk about Bruno. We don't like need to stop for things and stuff. I don't love the that have to go speed limit thing. But you know what? We'll figure it out. That's my one truck blocking traffic. And there's looks like my other one. I can't even see my cab. We might have to like go through the 2 from time to time. Are you my escort vehicle? Escort vehicle, not escort vehicle. Oh yeah, I guess like I'm wider than 1 lane. Huh. This is kind of neat, guys. Anyways, we are transporting a house, if you couldn't tell. And we are going from Socorro to Tucson in Arizona. I think that's how you say it. And theoretically, we're going to make a lot of money. I think it's like 22K on this. Oh, dang, we're over 600K. That's pretty cool. But theoretically, we're going to make a lot of money. And the world's going to be good. But we don't have to, like, I love that we don't have to stop for gas and stuff. Okay. I think we will have to use that, that whatchamacallit, that view more regularly, just for tight corners and stuff. But you know what? I believe in us. We theoretically have an escort vehicle at the back too, but we don't know him. I was gonna try to turn down that way because I saw the flashing lights. I went, ooh, that for me. Okay. He says no speeding. And unfortunately, I think we gotta listen. I don't know if he's a cop. Like, I feel like he's a cop because he's got the red and the blue, but he's also got yellow. But I just like, because the ones that are like pulled over, just some random tow truck there. Oh, did you see that? He pulled over like right up to the lane there so that truck knew that he had to move over. Yeah, he's gonna do it again. See? That's so neat. I'm assuming that's what they do IRL. Wait, this is so fun. Who would have thought that we'd have this experience tonight? Okay, so I don't know how much we'll get to cover chatting about things and stuff because we're going to be driving and concentrating on this. But I asked Azure, I was like, hey, can you like give me a topic of something to talk about on stream, not on stream, but while recording this? And he said, okay, how about the current political climate in the United States? I'm like, well, I have kind of talked about that like a little bit, the election in New York, which is so funny. Okay, it's November when I'm recording this, okay, guys? So like, don't go, it's January. What do you mean election in New York? That's wild because we probably just passed inauguration anniversary of inauguration. Oh, we're speeding. Day. So anyway, I was like, I've already kind of covered that. I've been like getting on my soapbox about social services and stuff lately, and what I think is the importance of them, and taxes and food benefits, and you know, being a welfare state. I mean, I don't think I specifically brought up welfare state, but same vibes. And he's like, okay, how about talk about this game Randomize, which is already out by this point. It came out on November 25th. He has been loving it. If you like cute games, I'm just gonna cover all of his topics. If you like cute games and randomizers, this game has it all. His name is in the credits because he really helped with a lot of debugging and stuff, so good job him. You should check it out. Randomize on Steam. I played the demo on this channel too, so you can check out someone who's not good at randomizers trying it and see that like I wasn't the worst at it. What was another one? Trans people. I was like, okay, I mean, trans people are people. Like, they have rights. I don't know. Like, I don't really know how much more I can cover on that. I'm just someone who truly is here's my thing. How you live your life is fine by me. It's not going to affect me. The only time I'm going to have an issue is if you're doing illegal things that are messing with other people's lives, like murder and SA and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, pictures, non-consenting, all that stuff. You know, like I always say, like, I'm not going to yuck somebody's yum unless their yum is something like that, which is obviously not okay. So, like, if you want to go out and you want to live your life as your true authentic self for your sexuality, your gender, your religion, etc., you do you, boo, and I fully support you. Again, as long as the mentioned things aren't there. And I don't remember how it came up, but I was like, oh, have you ever seen any of those movies with like where there's like terrorist groups that are like the terrorist group in the movie is like a right nationalistic group in the United States? Because I remember seeing one, and I want to say, was it Daniel Radcliffe? I'm thinking Daniel Radcliffe, but I could be wrong. But I remember seeing one and just like being just like, and then I was thinking about, we were watching The Resident, and there's this episode where this like podcast guy comes in and he has to get a surgery. Like his little cronies show up and they're like, if Lucifer comes out here any different than when he came in, we're gonna come in, we're packing, blah 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 blah. Wild times, right? That was a crazy episode too, because he had like multiple personalities, and his one personality was like, save me, you gotta do the surgery, you gotta do it. So that was a crazy time. But like, yeah, it's just so wild. Like, I love movies that have like intrigue and are interesting and all that kind of stuff, but they can be absolutely wild. I think we covered all the topics he suggested. He's going to go make himself some food. I'm not really hungry right now, but as I'm saying this, I'm like, maybe I'm a little bit more hungry than I realized. Because I wouldn't mind maybe a little snack. We went grocery shopping today, but I didn't buy chips because I was trying to be responsible. I want chips now. It's okay. We'll survive. I can't believe I have over $600,000. Do you think that at some point we could get to... Oh, he's towing a boat. I thought he had surfboards. Same vibe, different tax income or tax bracket. Shoot, what was I saying? I don't remember. I got distracted by boat. You know, I used to work... Oh, God. Oh, we really slowed down the speed limit. Got it. I used to work at a fishing resort, and at the beginning of every season, you'd have to drive the boats in and launch them because they stayed in dry storage in the off season. And we also had a 13-passenger van that we had to bring out. So one year, I think it was my second year, I was going out with one of the other girls, and she was driving the 15-passenger van, and I was in it, and we were following my boss, who was towing one of the boats. And it was like such a wild experience because you're going down like logging roads to get to this like remote place to launch the boats and stuff. And of course, we ended up having an issue. My toxic urge to just go into that gas station, even though I can't. I just realized that I'm just driving by the front of this trailer, I should probably be driving by the front of the truck. Okay, there we go. It's going up to 45. Come on, bud. There we go. But yeah, we go behind, and I think like the brakes started not working or something. We had to, fortunately, we discovered this right outside of a small town, but obviously it was like a really random time of the day, so the guy that worked there wasn't there. But also because it was a small town, we were able to like track him down, and he was able to help us. So we got stuck there for like an hour, and then we had to get to the place and like launch the boat in, and then we had to load all the stuff from the 13 passenger van and from the SUV that was towing the boat into the boat to get it to the resort. It was such a long trip. It's actually really funny, because when they bought it, it was my aunt's sister and brother-in-law had bought this place, and it had been like abandoned for many years. And when they bought it, trying to like keep gas enough, but I just keep having to take my foot off the pedal. When they had, oopsies, trailer damage. When they had bought it, they'd come in and they'd had issues like with the launch and stuff of their boat, and they just had like a little Boston whaler. And so I get there in like the middle of the night. The entire lower floor of this lodge that they have bought is just filled with like old fishing gear and tackle and like big coils of rope and stuff. And so they were like, and there's no power out there. It was all generator operated until like, I think like a year before I started working out there, or maybe a couple of years before I started working out there. Then they finally did get power out there, but still forest fires could cut their lines. So like everybody still had the generators. And if you want to run the dishwasher, you needed the generator. But they're like, yeah, we figured that everybody thought we were crazy because they just see like flashlights in the middle of the night as we're trying to unpack. And then they slowly renovated the place. She worked in the house doing like food and and housekeeping and stuff, and he did fish guiding. And then I think they must have had another guide on, and they slowly like grew the business. And they only had people staying in the upper level, and they lived in the bottom level, and they slowly grew and grew the business. And then they bought the cabin on the property next to them, and then an actual guide shack house on the property next to that. And so by the time I worked there, the guide shack thing was where all the staff lived. It was a place. Spiders and all that stuff. But it was a time. And then I think we could take up to 13 guests. And there were 6 rooms because they were double occupancy. Except some, depending on the makeup, you could like fit an extra bed in, depending on the relationships and whatnot. But yeah, crazy times. This is an awful place to be passing. There we go. I'm very grateful that that person did not go on the bridge. Oh, he's one of... Oh, there's somebody there telling him not to go on the bridge. Got it. But yeah, I don't know, like, has anyone here... I guess write in the comments if you have... if you've ever worked in remote locations and like what your experience was there. Because I did 2 years out at that fishing resort. And then the place that I worked most recently, I worked out there for... Let me see, I can do the math. For 6 years out there. And like I was out there in the summer when it was busy, but I was also out there oftentimes in the off season when it was like super dead. It's just it's so peaceful, such a wonderful experience. I will say my last summer out there was a terrible experience, in part because of staffing. Also, like, just like I was in the middle of my visa process and like missing Azurite, and like even though I had Starlink, which was like a huge lifesaver, I bought my own Starlink. It was just like, yeah. But you know, I feel like if you've never worked in a remote location, like you just don't know. And like I've only worked in like coastal water remote islands locations, and I know there's so many other ones like just in the middle of nowhere somewhere. Oh god. Oh, I thought we were gonna hit. Okay, we're fine. But yeah, it's just such a crazy thing because like if you think about like the logistics alone, like you have to bring all your clothes for the entire 90 days. Like you can't just go home and get them, or like however long you work. You have to, in the first one where I worked at, the fishing lodge, we all had dinner together. And like lunch, you could just like grab stuff from the house food and make your own lunch and that kind of stuff. And same with breakfast. So that was nice. But in the like, so room and board was included. In the place that I just worked at more recently for the 6 years, board was included, or room was included, but not food. And because like there's a much larger staff, right? And like where I worked at the fishing lodge, like we had 6 guides, but one of them was the owner, 2 of them came in, and then I think 3 of them lived on the nearby, we're part of the nearby First Nations, so like they did go home. But yeah, so for this last one, like I had to bring my computer because I was streaming. I had to bring like any crafts or something I might want to do. I'd have to bring those, any books. I had to bring those, all my clothes, etc. And it's just like so much. I think I like, oh, I see. You want me over there. Gotcha. Oh, we discovered Sholo. I think I know Sholo from like another, I want to see if I can see my back escort vehicle. I don't know for sure. But yeah, so it's like such a thing. I think I had like 2 big totes, one of them just being monitors, and like a smaller tote, and then like a bag, and then a cooler because I would bring, because I bring like all my food in. So like it's just so much stuff just to like go out, and it just got to be like exhausting for one, especially because like usually the day that you'd come in with like the grocery load from town, so there'd be a lot of people that would be coming down and helping unload and unpack things, which was fantastic. But when you would be leaving, you would typically be leaving at like 7 in the morning or something, and so you had to get all your stuff to the dock by yourself. I'm pretty sure there were some times when I brought my stuff down like the night before to the fuel shed because like it was totally safe, like nobody's gonna steal anything. It was just like it's gonna get cold, so like safety. We don't have to stop here, right? Yeah, I didn't think so, because obviously I don't want to leave my computer out. Oh, and that was another thing. And then I also had a tower, and then like you also had to be like, oh, like what's the tide gonna be, because there's nothing like nearly dying dragging totes down the ramp. Although the last year that I worked there, they did finally extend, or they didn't extend the ramp, they cut back the like the walkway, the pier that went to the dock, and then made a longer ramp so that even when the tide was really low, it wasn't that bad. And they also made it wider so you could drive the golf cart and the is that a potato walking over there? A hot dog, maybe? They also made it so that you could drive the golf cart or the gator down, which was amazing. I never did though, because I'm like, I don't want to die. I'm gonna die. But it made such a huge difference when we got liquor orders in, because they would load at high tide for them. Definitely a hot dog. Ask me about my winners. They would load at like high tide for them to make it easier, and then it would be low tide by the time they got to us. It was such a pain. But I remember one of the wildest times. I gone in there for the winter, because to do year-end inventory in the store and like help with inputting data and stuff, specifically from like the fuel dock and whatnot. And they'd also picked up new windows for the villa, which was a big house where the original owners lived. But when they passed away, the new owners, or the kids of the owners, were like, we don't want to move there. We already have our houses, right? And so they got new windows, and by the time we got out, because it was winter and it got cold, so it got dark and cold so early, the dock was so frosted over that we're like, if we try to move these windows tonight, we're gonna all die and the windows are gonna break. Because I think we made a couple smaller windows, but then we also had like a sliding glass door. And I seem to recall that we couldn't leave it on the boat it was on. We had landing craft. I seem to recall we couldn't leave it on the boat because it had to be gone early in the morning. This was the whole time. But yeah, there was slipping and there was nearly dying. But like eventually we made it through. But it's like, it's such a cool experience. If you ever have the opportunity to go visit and stay somewhere like super remote or like work there, I think it's totally worth it. There's somebody that I follow on on TikTok, and she works and lives in a very remote village in Alaska. And so it's so neat to like see the difference, because again, all the two that I worked at were coastal, accessible by boat or float plane, whereas hers is accessible only by plane, because like they're up in like a fjord or something. I don't know. I'm gonna go here for a second because we're gonna start speeding up going down here, and I don't want people to die. It's so cool the way the pilot car works. Yeah, I can't be in this for long. It's making me feel sick. I can't even see my truck. Oh, that might be actually better for me, because now I can actually see the start of the truck. Because like I said, I was just using the peak of the roof of the house. I'm like, this is fine. Would I want to live? Okay, you know, as I say, would I want to live somewhere like full time? Honestly, if there was a point when I was working out at that job that I'll just refer to as my summer job, even though I worked with them like year round with various different things, there was a point where I was like, if they offered me to come live out here, I would move out here. I could run the store in the off season. I could do more than just regular invoicing. Like, I could help with accounting, answering phone calls, and all that stuff. And they never asked. And then I started streaming, and then streaming kind of, streaming and thoroughly enjoying that. And then obviously I met Azurite, and so that was a no-go. But like, it's really, because there was a point where I was like, I could come live out here and it'd be cool and just vibe. But yeah, things change, life change, priorities change. But I think it'd be cool. Like, I still like to this day, like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to like live somewhere like that. I don't think I'd want to live in the woods, because the woods are scary. But like, this was woods, but on an island, so in my opinion, less scary. Oh, look how pretty this is. I'm hoping we just don't see anybody as we're like wending through here. Here's the thing. I don't typically, if you look at the map here, I don't typically like to take trips that have all these turns like this. Preferring to take trips that are on the straight and narrow as much as possible. But we should uncover at least one city, if not two, on this. So like, that was enticing for me for sure. I really just want to speed past him. Oversized load. There's no oversized load there though. That's fine. But yeah, I normally try, if you notice, I don't typically do ones like this because I had a like really bad experience when I first started playing ATS. It was a long trip. So as you know, I typically do trips. You could have seen my eyes, we nearly died. I typically do trips that are like 8 to 10 hours. I think this one was like 9 and something. But this one was like 11 or 12, and I was just having such a difficult time. I don't know that I ever posted that. I think I recorded it. It was back when Azurite and I would play semi-regularly together. I did ask him if he wanted to join me tonight, but he's like, I'm hungry. I want to go eat food. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. Get it. What should I eat? Should I make myself some french fries or something? I don't know. I'm not really hungry. Although, like, earlier I was, like, starving. I'm like, I'm simply going to perish. I need to eat food. And now, obviously, I'm like, meh. I don't want anything. Now that I'm, like, getting to the point where I could make food. This is so pretty. It's so crazy to me. Like, if you think... Obviously, there used to be a different bridge there. If you think, like, this all used to not have roads at all. And then humans just decided, we're going to go here. And that's going to be great. And we're going to blast through mountains. I mean, in this case, it doesn't look like they've gone through mountains. But, you know, we're going to blast through mountains. And we're simply going to go where we want to go. And we're just going to expand. Like, can you imagine? Like, I already, like, in this day and age, traveling for like long amounts of time would be like kind of sucky. But like, can you imagine back when it was like wagon covered carriages? Like, that's insane. Let's Oregon Trail it up, kids. Let's die of dysentery. But yeah, just like absolutely wild. I think like the engineering and the planning and stuff that goes into roads, I feel like it's just not as appreciated as it probably should be, to be honest. Bro. Oh, I see. I have a truck behind me. That's my other vehicle. We finally clocked him. I think, if I recall, this is kind of the last of the windy parts, and then we go back to going straight. Oh yeah, I can see him. Look at my little truck. Look at me, so cute. Not me going, oh no, it's a cop, as if he's not there to stop traffic for me. We've definitely got a different relationship dynamic going in this trip. Would I do more of these trips? I'm not sure. Definitely the novelty was very exciting at first, but now I'm like, I really want to speed because speeding's my jam. I thought that said Toronto, and I was like, what? Tonto. Indigenous individual, if I recall correctly. I'm still trying to learn. I keep clipping those little guide rail things. I've said before, but I really want to learn more about the, oh, we can go 55 here, about the indigenous experience during colonization in America. But I just like, I've been reading Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, which is a very interesting read for sure. But it's something that requires my like kind of changing lanes maneuvers coming. Adapt your speed to avoid crashing. Lord. It's definitely something that I need to spend more time with in like an active reading environment versus a reading environment that's active. If that makes sense. Basically, I need to get on the right side of the road. Basically, for something like that, I need to be more present and like not have distractions around me. And when I have distractions around me, it's harder for me to read nonfiction. Fiction, I can still blast through like whatever, it's fine because it's a lot lighter of a read. But topic matter and also the fact that it is nonfiction has just been a slow read. Been fascinating what I've read so far, but we'll get back to it eventually. I find that stuff interesting, and I think it's so important to continue learning at every point, because I don't want to just like get older and be like, well, 28 years ago this is how it was, so therefore this is always how it is, right? Like, I want to make sure that I'm still learning things actively as we go. To that end, I did find a Japanese book on the free cart at the library when I was volunteering, which is very exciting. I think it's a little bit more advanced than what I'm currently at because I haven't studied for a while, but I'm like kind of jazzed. Here's the thing. I want to do everything, okay? I want to listen to my audiobooks. I want to read my books. I want to play video games on stream. I want to play video games for YouTube. I want to play video games on my own. I want to learn Japanese fluently. Again, I've talked about it before, but my main goal would be like one day to take the Japanese language proficiency test and pass it, the lowest level one. That'd be pretty cool. I want to craft. I want to learn new crafts. I want to try to keep the house organized. I want to have time to spend with people. And it's like, just as you add them up, the hours don't also add up. So you're like, Oh, and I want to be able to write again. That is something I'm so passionate about, and it's been so long. Part of me is like, okay, girl, you're going to read a bit and get used to reading and get yourself like in that type of world, and then hopefully we'll get better. We were talking about my one story the other day because I think someone had rated in and they were playing like a zombie type game, or no, they were playing a horror game, and I was talking about how like, no, it was a Resident Evil game. And I was like, yeah, I like horror games that are just like jump scares, not gory, not zombies. Because the thing about zombies for me is I think they realistically could happen. And I mean, like, I don't mean like maybe in the traditional sense of zombies, but like I feel like parasites or plagues or something could mimic those behaviors. We've seen with like even like drugs, like that happening. And so that's kind of a little bit more scary. So like I can put that into like real life thing. Whereas like with ghosts, like maybe ghosts are a thing, but like I can just move, right? If it's zombies, it's kind of a big issue everywhere. And I do in fact have a story that I'm working on that's kind of set in a global pandemic, which is kind of like a zombie thing. So when COVID happened, as you might imagine, I was like, oh my goodness. As a historian, it's so fascinating that in the future, TikToks and YouTube videos and stuff are going to be considered primary source for that. Instead of just like written accounts, like you're going to be like watching people like doing TikTok dances. And I'm sure someone in the future will write an entire PhD thesis on the rise and fall of TikTok dance during the COVID-19 pandemic. 100%. Or pop culture in general, or like how everybody went into sourdough and that kind of, like, you know, Instapots. Or air fryers, right? There's gonna be stuff about that. Anyway, so as a historian, I'm like, fascinating. As a writer, I was like, oh, free research, let's freaking go. For my like little zombie pandemic situation, but as a human, horrifying. But anyways, I digress. I have been working together. I've been working on my planning guide for my zombie plague book. It's called Infectious. And it's going well. I really want to write it. The problem is like I want to write these books so I can read them. And because I have all the ideas in my head, and it just sucks that I have to write them first before I can read them. Like, why can't I just read them now? Or like use magic to get them out of my head and onto paper? Bro. Oh, speed limit dropped. Got it. Okay. Continue on, brethren. Are these people all out here watching this? I think they are. There's been like a couple different groups along the way. I mean, I guess we were on the news. So that checks out. 47 minutes left. Not so bad. This has felt a little bit slower for sure because we can't speed. Are you kidding me? How did I fail for them crashing? I am baffled. We're loading because that was not my fault. Like, $15,000 penalty because they weren't paying attention. That's on them. Like, I was far enough back. I'm big offended. You can tell that we're recording this around Halloween. We're technically like 2 weeks into November, but still, is this gonna go? Oh, I see it. It's going. All right. Good. We got a new car. Okay. We're only about half an hour behind where we were. I'm so offended. Like I said, like I had plenty of room. So I don't know how I was blamed for that. Because like, here's the thing. Like, I don't own my own truck. So it's not like I hired these guys. Yeah, this is definitely a different car in front of us. I wonder if we still have a truck behind us or if we have somebody else. Ridiculous. What was I talking about before then? Oh yeah, so I've been working on my zombie story. The way that I do it is I make like these planning guides, and so for every character that I know I'm gonna have in the book, even if they're like a minor character, I Google image search what I think they'll look like, and it's like really funny because it'll be like androgynous Chinese person. Hey Google, cancel. I didn't even say the words, and she's getting all up in my business. But yeah, so like my search history was wild when I was putting the last one together. So I'm working on this one. I really enjoy the story. It's about a girl who, when she was growing up, her mom really pushed her to go in ballet and do pageants. Pageants? It's a weird word. And stuff like that because she was living vicariously through her. And as she got older, she realized she didn't want to do that, but she had a really good talent for ballet. And so she ended up getting a we're about to slow down here again. She ended up getting a scholarship or like admittance to a fancy dance school. And so she goes to that. Okay, we're going to go over here. She goes to that, but her heart's not in it. And so she ends up dropping out. Doesn't tell her parents. She ends up dropping out. And as she does that, she's working as a waitress, right, to make ends meet and stuff. And I gotta... Have you seen some of the people like doing this with like the crazy big wind turbine things? Like, it's insane. But anyway, so she also is a very kind... Oh, shoot. She's also like a very, very kind soul. And so she will like bring food and she'll bring it to unhoused people and help them out. And there's this one in particular who takes a shine to her and kind of like sees her as like a daughter type that he like, you know, needs to be protective over. And so when the zombie apocalypse breaks out, being in the middle of a big city, he goes and finds her. And oh, we gotta keep going across here. He goes and finds her, and they begin their adventure together to try to get out of the city and to try to make it somewhere safe. So that's like what the first book is about. And I don't want to say anymore because I don't want to spoil anything for future books. But I really like the characters. Holly and Maddox are the two main characters, and they're pretty cool. Oh shoot. Yeah, of course I took trailer damage. Capture speed to avoid a possible crash. It's not my fault these guys be crashing out here. I'm gonna crash out if they mess with us again. So I want to find time to write that. And like my one goal, so on Sundays I often do co-working streams on Twitch where you can get stuff done. So one of my goals was to be able to do writing during that period, but I just usually have so much stuff to do, like editing. I'm like usually behind on editing and stuff, and then invoicing, and so like I just don't have that time. And so I need to like figure out how to prioritize that. Like maybe usually I get up in the morning at like 11ish, and so maybe instead of crafting every day when I get up at that time, maybe I get up early, because I usually handwrite when I'm doing my planning stages anyway, so I don't need to type. So maybe that's what I start working on and figuring out plot points and stuff. Like I said, I think so. I did use... Are we going this way? No, we're staying here. I did some video game writing classes several years ago now. But one of the things that I did was I used this one, I think it was for the world building class that I used. So I do have a lot of it kind of planned out already, which is nice. I need to go in the cab and I don't like it because it's starting to make me feel sick. So I do have a lot of things kind of planned out for that already. So like I would say for book 1, I know most of the plot points. Book 2, I know a fair amount. I know how it ends. And then I think there's going to be a book 3 eventually. I'm just so excited. I really, really want to read it. And there's like so many cool characters. Ah, I knew we were going to discover a new one. Tucson. Okay, we should be good to go this way now. Train just comes along. Here's the thing, like, they wouldn't be able to pause the trains for me. Because, like, the trains would just be going regardless. They wouldn't know when I was going to be there. Oh, I see where we're supposed to go to. Is that guy filming me? Oh, look, the news is here too. Must be a slow day. Almost. There we go. We did it, guys. Besides that one issue with the lead card crashing. We did all right. Hey, successfully delivered that. Hey, we done good. We made a decent amount of money there. We made decent experience. 25K for that? I'll take that. Will I do another one again sometime soon? Maybe not. We shall see. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss more fun ATS stuff and chats and also full game playthroughs and demos. I will see you in the next one. Bye!